Oh yes, we are here in LADZ City. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, it's your neighborhood LADZ City fun uncle filling in for my main guy, Crypto Buffalo. He is on a well-deserved vacation, so I want to welcome you all. Q, how you doing, my dude? What's up, man?
That was a great intro, man. You were born for this. You were like born to do the intro. So much better than me. Guys, welcome into NFT Live. We are doing the NFT just whole thing, the roundup, mega episode, whatever the hell you want to call it. We got CryptoStache, we got Dizzy Dragons. It's going to be a guest heavy episode because these projects are so dope. And yeah, man, I'm doing good, Uncle. It's good to have you in the driver's chair there. I trust you.
You know, and you're right. I am just autopilot. Whenever I press a button and the lights are on, yeah, I'm just green light go, you know. Formula 1, baby.
we do miss Crypto Buffalo, of course, my main man, and we do these with Ronan the Collector as well on Tuesdays. But it is Nifty Q, it is Fun Uncle that is going to take you into this episode, and we're hopefully going to have ourselves a good time here. So this is what we're going to do. This is the rundown for today's episode. Stash is going to come in first. We've got Dizzy Dragons right afterwards, and then we're going to hit on a little bit of weekly news, most of which has to do with big brands entering the space. We got Pepsi, Budweiser. You about this Budweiser NFT life, Unc?
I'm chugging them down. I'm shotgunning these Budweiser lives, dude. Ooh.
What, first beer. Put you on the spot here. What's your first beer ever?
It was MGD. What is that? Miller Gold. Yeah. I can't remember the name of it. I just remember it was MGD was the name of it. Crushing them. I'm not gonna say how old I was.
Love to see it. Love to see it. That was a much better choice than what I had when I was 16 at the time. But anyways, we have those big brands, so we're going to continue. So we got Disney. We also have Society, the Hourglass. Let me make sure I'm getting everything in. We have some social media use cases. We're going to touch on Ubisoft and how gamers are kind of really reacting negatively to the Ubisoft launch. And then we also have some new Play To Earn platforms that we want to talk about. But that's pretty much the episode, man. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment. Subscribe. You know we love it here. Our vibe, our tribe. I'm going to hit some comments here in the comments section. Uncle, how do you feel that this episode is going for you? I know, it's the first time me and you duoing, but how do you feel this is going?
Electric, my hair's standing up over here. I love it. And I love being in front of this community. I joined y'all about 9 months ago, and it's really been exhilarating. I've made some serious lifelong friends in the comments who are here today. Hash Rhymes specifically. Choya, my LADZ City Lad of the Week. You're the man. Thanks for showing up. Who else is that? Oh, DJ Savage, my man. Oh, we can't do a show without DJ Savage in the chat. What a kingmaker.
I'm getting some Miller Genuine Drafts, so MGD, they're loving that.
That's okay. That's what it was. Uncle. Okay. All right. Yeah.
A lot of Dizzy Dragon community members in the house. Of course, we got the Stashers as well. A lot of crossover between some of these communities. We talked to the lads about having Stash on, and they were like, absolutely, yes, we are in his stream all the time. You need to have him on the channel. And me and Stash go back a little bit too, so I'm excited to bring him in here. But yeah, one quick shout out here. Jorge's in the chat. Santino is in the chat. Space Smells Like is in the chat. Get scammed. Get scammed. Okay. All right. I just got scammed there with your name.
Maybe you can scam that like button for us, dude. Yeah.
Please do it. Okay. All right. We are crushing this episode, guys. I just did an Alluvium just to talk about LADZ City one last time. I just did an interview with Kieran Warwick from Alluvium. Go check that episode out. It is on our channel. It was about 50 minutes long, packed full of alpha. He actually dropped the land sale date within that episode, so go check it out. But without further ado, man, I want you to. You got anything before we hop into Stash here?
Nah, let's get this party started.
All right, let's bring the man, the myth, the legend in here. We have CryptoStache.
What up, guys?
I love it.
What's going on? Listen, this man is hard working. He was on a stream right before this. I actually had to type in his chat to be like, "Hey, man, are you coming?"
I know you were checking up on me. I seen you in chat, and I was like, "Oh man!" I looked at the clock. I was like, "I got 5 minutes still, man. Let me get this match done." I did not get the match done. I was playing Gods Unchained on stream, and I did not get. I had to quit in the middle, and then at the end, people were like, "Why'd he quit, man?" I think he could have pulled it off, and I was like, "Yeah, gotta go, gotta go."
I love it, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being on the channel. The lads appreciate it. I really like what you're doing with your community, and you know, people kind of feel that, right? When people talk about CryptoStache, you can see that you're coming at it from the right angle, very organic, and you're really taking off, man. In the past couple months, I love what you're doing with around the metaverse. Just drop if people don't know, you know, what you're doing, just drop what CryptoStache is all about, and we'll make our way into kind of just regular discussions, man.
Yeah, so I mean, first and foremost, I'm really all about the community. You know, like that's why I do this. That's why I work so hard. And you know, the reason why I've stuck around in crypto in doing what I've been doing with what we'll call like, you know, being an influencer, but really just trying to be helpful is really what it comes down to. Is that that's where I really kind of got started. Is, you know, writing articles, doing videos, talking about things, and just trying to be, you know, helpful, because there's a lot of people that couldn't overcome that tech side of things. You know, so trying to be helpful with those types of things. And, you know, that's kind of transitioned now in the last 3 years or 4 years, really focusing on more on NFTs and blockchain gaming. I was definitely one of the first people to be talking about NFTs and blockchain gaming. One of the first streams ever doing, you know, actual NFT like or blockchain based games as well. And that's really my first love, man. You know, when it comes down to the melding of crypto technology with the creative side and fun entertainment side, gaming and NFTs are where it's at. And so that's really where I focus my attention in the last few years, and definitely starting to see, like you said, things started to pay off a little bit, man, with you know, NFTs definitely coming into the spotlight, metaverses now being a hot thing. And these are all things I was talking about years before most people cared. You know, there was a point where I couldn't give away NFTs, and that has definitely significantly changed here over this year. So really just all about being helpful and creating a great community. Learning together as a community, I think, is a really big point. You know, we're all learning together. I'm not the expert. You know, I may be, you know, just a really, you know, a man with a stash. But I love doing it. I love getting everyone together, and like I said, growing and learning together as a community, which is really important to me. So that's kind of the main goal: have fun, grow, support each other, be kind. You know.
In the chat right now, they're calling you the gold standard. How do you feel about that name? Are you claiming that?
I am the gold standard. Yep, that's true. I'll
I
take
love
it.
it. I love it.
Or the dawn of NFT gaming, or the
Ooh,
OG.
yeah.
Sometimes people they call me Don Stachio. Get a little edge on that. There's a couple other names that could be floating around out there and stuff, but yeah, I mean, I was talking about a lot of these things before almost anybody in the industry that was on YouTube or doing videos, and you know, now we see everyone and their mama jumping on board. But it's good to see some people who have been sticking with it for a long time, including you guys too, man. I'm surprised you don't have more subs here. We want to try and get you guys some more subs. So if you guys are watching this channel right now and you're not subscribed, for shame! I'm going to shame you until you subscribe right now and hit that like button. Do it, please.
He said it, not me. Okay, so let's talk about that transition from crypto to NFTs, because I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole here. We have a whole kind of discussion. I want to hit on the secret agent stash missions and the NFTs that you have, which we're doing giveaways like on this episode and right after this episode with Stash here. But that transition, man, we went back to IOST. I don't know if you're still holding any IOST. I sold mine long ago. But what was the moment kind of saying, okay, NFTs, like this is the thing? Because I feel like it's going to be a little bit similar, but I want to hear that kind of trigger moment for you to move from like an IOST or just traditional crypto to NFTs.
I mean, it actually happened before I even got into IOST, honestly, man. 2017, I really started to see the power of that. You know, in particular, I had seen kind of what we were calling an NFT before that. There was no term for it then, really. It wasn't like labeled NFT. There was no standard on Ethereum. But CryptoPunks and a couple other projects that kind of come out as being, you know, these on-chain type of artworks. And I saw CryptoPunks and they were like, hey, you know, we're giving these away for free. And I was like, ah, they're ugly. So I was like, meh, I'm good. But it was when CryptoKitties came out, and there was actual functionality. There was like something there was a function that came with it, and that one was like, oh, I was like, all right, this makes sense. This is cool. This is something that is going to be big, and that's when it really clicked for me. And so, you know, I did my first article about CryptoKitties. I think it was November maybe, or September, October. It was somewhere around there. Just when things were starting to blow up, and I was like, you know, this is going to be huge. This technology, and you know, we started seeing a couple other projects come out. Cheese Wizards came out like a little bit shortly after that. And then, and like I said, there were some other early projects. They just weren't necessarily, they weren't on like what we call a standard, right? And then these standards started to develop after that. But yeah, 2018, man, I went hard on NFTs, and this was before I got into IOST. So the IOST thing was just kind of like, okay, well, my buddies are doing it. It's something that I could be interested in. I do like the technology. But and that's how I met you, man. And we were involved in the IOST Global Alliance, trying to make things better. And it just didn't, the company or the product, they didn't really want to work with us on these things. And so shortly I realized like this is not going to be a good direction. Honestly, I still have some IOST. I didn't sell. I saw a good chunk at the top though at like 7.5 cents or something. So I waited. I was patient, man. I'm a patient dude. And I waited on that IOST forever. So I think I still maybe have like maybe 1 million or 2 IOST still left somewhere. So I'm waiting to cash that back out. But yeah, I mean, so 2018, I really, started going that direction. I mean, I was still doing regular content about other crypto things, which I still do. But and within the last, I think, year and a half is when I really made the switch, and I started doing exclusively gaming and NFT focused content. I wasn't really doing much on anything outside of that. So it's been almost 2 years since I really just kind of made that main switch.
Yeah, if you really want to test to see if the person that you follow or the person that you are viewing on YouTube knows about NFTs, if they say the word cheese wizard, you know that they know something, because that is the first time. People don't bring up cheese wizards all the time, but I do remember that competition. I do want to talk about this upcoming stream that you have, Stash. I got it pulled up on my screen here. The charity mega stream happening December 13th. At 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific Standard. What is going on with this charity mega stream?
Yeah, so every year I work with a really great charity called Stand Up to Cancer. They're one of the largest cancer charities out there that are putting money towards research, finding cures, helping support cancer victims and their families. And so I've been working with them for the last couple of years, part of their stream team, and it's an amazing cause. So every year around this time, I do a big charity live stream where we, stream some of my favorite NFT games. We play a bunch and we raise money for cancer charities. So I'm doing that here coming up on Monday, and we're going to be playing 3 of the top games, man. Gods Unchained, Blankos, Splinterlands. We're going to do each one for an hour. So we're going to do a big 3-hour stream here. And I really hope you guys can out there can come join me and donate a little bit for charity. Every little amount helps. Even $10. Most people over here are like YOLOing into all these NFTs, spending thousands of dollars on JPEGs. If you guys could just funnel 5% of that my way, and not really my way, but 5% of that to Stand Up to Cancer's way via me, where I'm not taking any money here. It's going directly to them, and that would be great. And we could really make this. But I have a very modest goal of $1,000 to raise. I mean, that is incredibly modest. And I really hope that I do hit it over this stream. And I'll have some NFT prizes to give away to people and stuff like that too. So definitely come and hang out and donate with us and play some games.
Right on. It's a good cause. Thank you for that. I was going to ask, an innovation we were talking about before the stream was you're going to put NFTs on your stream and onto other people's streams. Could you unpack that a little bit more for our audience? What's that mean, and what would that entail?
So I think you're talking about the Secret Agent Stash NFT live stream game. Yeah. So this is the concept that I came up with earlier this year, and it kind of took a little bit longer than I wanted to get it going because of the artwork and stuff like that. It was a little bit more intense than I had first anticipated. But basically, what it is it's exactly what it says. It's an interactive live stream NFT game. So every Thursday, I have a special live stream called Secret Agent Stash, where I'm a secret agent. And I look just like you see in the picture there. So the hat, the glasses, the trench coat, I got the gun, all those things. And we go and we play some blockchain-based games. And it's very much focused on being more of a game show and not as much of a just like, oh, you're watching me play some games, right? Which is most streamers. You go game streamers, right? You see them, you're going, you're playing. And so what we do is every week I jump into a different disguise. And this NFT card game actually allows you to interact with the stream live by playing the NFT and redeeming it through the website, which gets me to do different things like change disguises, play a different game, which would be kind of, it's crazy. I start off doing one, maybe I'm playing Light Night like I am here, and then you play a play Blankos game card, and then I got to switch to playing Blankos. There's a bunch of other ones, right? So there's a card for each one of my disguises, so you can get me to change into different ones. One of the ones that people have really tried to get to, but it's the top tier NFT is the Princess Stash, and that is like legendary tier, man. But I have a Princess Stash costume here, and no one's been able to redeem it yet. It's one of the more rare ones, and so that's kind of the whole idea, is that you use NFTs to interact with the streamer live while they're doing it, and there's a redemption system that goes on your screen with like a display, like a notification, and then I have to do whatever that action is. So it might be like play left-handed, which is one of them. I have another one where it's like do a reward airdrop. So everyone in the I do random airdrops of NFTs in the chat for people, and so yeah, it's a really cool way to just create more engagement with your fans, and that's really what I want. I'm always trying to do is just engage more, have more fun with people while they're on stream, not just sit there and watch me talk, man. Like actually interact with it, and so that's where this whole concept came about, and making it NFT enabled. So you have this really cool system, and the cool thing about it is it not only do these NFTs work in my game, they actually also work in other wax-based games too, like Wax Arena. You can use these cards, so they're like dual purpose. There's multiple purposes to these things too. So I partnered with a couple other projects on Wax, and they allow you to use these cards in those games too.
Dude, I can't personally wait for YouTube, Twitch to start integrating NFTs where you can actually have that kind of interaction live. Like you're doing it, but you're almost having to do a workaround right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Once they have those integrations, I can't wait. I do have a quick lightning question. If we could pull up my screen one more time, Fun Uncle. What exactly are we wearing here, Stash? Like, what is going on? Kudos to you for having the balls to wear this on stream. I fucking love it.
Oh, dude, that's like you. If you go to the website, you see there's a whole list of every costume that I wear, man. Like legit, they're all there. And so this disguise is called King of the Stash. So this is my Lion King costume, and I am the King of the Stash.
Okay,
but yeah,
awesome.
So I mean, there's a bunch of them, man. There's a bunch of different costumes. They're all kind of crazy, and people are always kind of trying to guess what the next costume is going to be, or next disguise is going to be.
Hell yeah, man. I love the interaction that you're doing and what you're talking about there. We do have to let you go here in like the next, I would say, 2 or 3 minutes. So we're going to like kind of lightning question and get some more information out of you. We have you said 10 NFTs to give away. What is the detail there, or how would you like to kind of go about that? I guess we can always figure this out off stream later, but is there any giveaway you want to try to run here on stream or right afterwards?
Yeah, if you guys want to do a pack, I mean, basically they're packs of cards, or they're packs of actual build cards. So if you guys are familiar with the Wax ecosystem, the Secret Agent Stash packs have these build cards in them, and each card is an NFT piece of a disguise, and you got to get all the different pieces to put them together and craft them together to make the final NFT that you redeem on the show. So that's what's inside the packs. They're all random, and we got 10 of them to give away. So I don't know how do you guys do giveaways on here?
Well, we have LADZ holders, so LADZ tokens. If you're a follower of the channel, we have a social token. So I would say like we'll work out the details right after the show, but I would say 5 are going to go to the Nobles. We can do some Twitter giveaways, and then we can figure out the rest of them. All right, Uncle, do you have anything? I have one last question for Stash. Do you have anything before I get to it, man?
I do, honestly. From what you're doing with the gaming side of things, I was wondering how do you envision the metaverse? 5 years, 10 years down the road, like, do you have any like pie in the sky dreams for what the metaverse will be like?
I mean, pie in the sky, man, would be just complete like Ready Player One status, right? Where you have this fluid environment. The hardware is supportive of it, and that's one of the biggest downsides right now, in particular if you're going like VR, which I really feel is where the metaverse is going to be going, right? It's the most interactive way. The hardware just isn't there yet for that kind of thing, but that ideally is what we want. Like these games all fluid, you can go from game to game to game, take your avatar, take your weapons, take everything you have, and it's a fluid environment, and I think we're going to get there, but it will take some time. So ideally that's what I want in the long term. In the short term, what I want you guys to play my game that I'm developing in the sandbox. That's the short term right there.
Got it. Right on.
Love it. Always be chilling, man. Learn.
Yep.
No, that's it. No, always ABS, baby.
ABS, baby. Always be chilling.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the last question I have, Stash. Obviously, like we're on the front lines of play to earn gaming. NFT gaming is going to be explosive in 2022, almost as explosive as NFTs were in 2021. And like, give us an alpha drop here. Like, what projects are you looking at here in like the next month or two from maybe a token standpoint? Not as much like gameplay, but if you have any of those, just anything you're interested in early 2021 that people might be able to get into.
Yeah, I would say early 2022 here coming up. You know, Illuvium has some pretty big things going on. I know that you just did an interview with Kieran, which is great. I just interviewed him not too long ago too. They're gonna be doing a big land sale, so that I think is gonna be huge. Very bullish still on Star Atlas. They're gonna be coming with their mini game drop, which is gonna be pretty cool here pretty soon. Same with the Illuvium. They're gonna have this mini game that you're gonna be able to play. So these are two of the like bigger, I say like AAA experiences, and that's what people are really, you know, kind of like looking towards. You know, every time I get a new person on stream and they're maybe a mainstream gamer, they're always like, "This game looks like crap," and I'm like, "Well, it's, you know, this is the early alpha of a game, man. Like, you know, we're trying to get to that point where these games are really amazing." But you know, looking forward to some things like Age of Rust would be. I think that they're going to be doing a launch here in 2022, which is a really cool looking game on the Engine platform. And what else is some other upcoming games? I think that'd be really hot, man. That I'm excited about. I think that's probably one of some of the top lists right there.
Solid list.
Yeah, you dropped. Yeah. It was a solid list, Stash, and this was a solid interview as well, man. And I appreciate you coming on the channel. Honestly, like we need probably to do more of these. Shout out to Adam for getting me on around the metaverse as well. I love the collaborations, man, between all of our different communities that are like about it. You know, there's a lot of people coming into the space right now, maybe don't have the right mindset. But yeah, you can see another fisherman sees another fisherman from afar, if I'm getting that quote right.
Talent recognizes talent. Yeah.
Real recognizes real. There you go. Yeah, we got better as that went on. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. Super
cool, man.
Stoked to have you, Stash.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me here, man. I would love to come back, and vice versa, dude. We'll definitely have you on around the metaverse here. You know, come up soon.
Good
all
shit,
right, brother.
Thanks. Right on.
Good. All right.
Yeah,
all right,
I know that came right out of me.
Are you gonna log off with good shit every time?
I know. I'm just having casual conversations right now. You know, you got uncled.
Love it, man.
You got uncled.
Yeah, you full uncled. Shout out to Stash. Dude, honestly, like one of the most genuine guys in the space right now, and I can't be, you know, more excited for his like pop off basically that he's had recently. So, man, gotta have Stash on again. We will be doing those Stash NFT giveaways here. I would say be on the lookout. We're going to be doing a loot box in our own Discord for the Noble holders, and we will be doing it on Twitter. It's something to do with retweeting this episode. You know how it goes. So we'll be doing that. All right, Uncle, in total, how do you feel about that? Before we hop into Dizzy Dragons, which we have next, so stay tuned. What did you think in total? NFT Live episode interview.
We're in the presence of a golden god, you know. They said the golden mustache, you know. I love the names for him, and I was like, he does match the brand very, very well. He lives up to the name in every shape.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, you'd hope for him to have a stash, but he pulls it off 100%. So. All right, guys, we are rolling in. I think we had some last-minute comments. It looks like Xbox saying blame Stash for love of R-Fox. Millions on Mars is saying good shit is now the gold standard, which I think we can just that can become part of the lore. I think I'm down to.
I'm batting 1,000 on it.
All right, guys. So this was the situation. We have Rob from Dizzy Dragons. Shout out to all the Dizzy Dragons in the house right now. We also were gonna have Buck Lewis, who has worked on like Kung Fu Panda. He's worked on one of my favorite Disney movies, Ratatouille. But we couldn't get him on. Like technical difficulties. This is showbiz, and we just couldn't make it work. So we do have the one and only Rob, who we'll bring in a second. But what are your thoughts here, Unc?
Hey, technology, it's a learning curve. And I think that the narrative is, once we can get NFTs to catch on, you know, so that it's not so much of a learning curve to associate with them, you know, the way that it is to get into a vMix call. I think we've got so much growth ahead of us, you know, bell-shaped curve is in front of us.
huge bell-shaped curve for hopefully for vmix adoption as well, so that we don't have these problems.
VMix,
But
yeah.
let's bring in Rob. Let's bring in Rob from Dizzy Dragons here. Let's have a great conversation. They're just releasing 5,000 demons here, which we can touch on. We've had Dizzy Dragons on. Rob, what is going on, my man? How are you feeling today?
Bud, you're muted on your end, man. Oh, shoot. Sorry, man.
Boom.
There you go.
Are
there
we
you
good?
Go. Yeah.
Awesome. I had to take the attention away from the the elephant in the room, technical issues, and just make it a whole mess to start off with. Thank you guys for having me. Really awesome to be here. You guys are dope. And again, apologies for the technical difficulties and the change up. And yeah, I'm gonna try to hold it down and keep it as exciting as I can without the big Buck Lewis with me.
Absolutely, man. I was saying that Ratatouille, my favorite Disney movie of all time, I was gonna have a bunch of Ratatouille questions lined up, but we'll have to deal otherwise. Rob, you're a fantastic guest. I believe we had you on for the first Dizzy Dragons interview, I think, but we're gonna have ourselves a great one here. So what is going on with the Dizzy Dragons, man? We have the Dizzy Demons drop, of course. This mint that's happening, 5,000 of them. Really cool lore. The art is absolutely fantastic from a pixelated point of view. It's like me and Uncle were talking about it before the episode. So take us into what's happening with Dizzy Dragons and this Dizzy Demons drop.
Yeah, man. First of all, thank you. So Dizzy Demons is our companion collection, our follow-up in the Dizzyverse. And we really used it as just our first opportunity since Dizzy Dragons to expand the world, and with that came Buck Lewis, as we mentioned, who we brought on board to help or to design the characters for the collection, which I could see the screen here. They ended up consisting of 3 different tiers of demons. We felt that one type of demon wasn't enough for what we wanted to do, and to kind of kickstart this antagonist, or this Dizzy antagonist collection. So we landed on 3 different tiers. We call the first one the Minions, which are these more kind of scrappy, I've always related them to the flying monkeys from the Wizard of Oz kind of vibe. They might party with you, or they might murder you, that kind of thing. And then the second tier are we call the Brawlers, which were the idea of the inception was more of that second line of if you're fighting a demon army, you got the masses of minions in front, but then you got the second line of these big brawler muscle big guys behind. And with that, we really wanted to keep it in the Dizzy lane and really not just have a bunch of really scary dudes, and really just try to bring as much character to them as well, which I feel like with the Minions it was a little easier, and you can kind of see that there's a lot of opportunity for different vibes there. But with the Brawlers, I feel like creatively it really took somebody like Buck to be able to bring the diversity in the emotions and in the styles of the characters, whether it's with the mouth shapes or the eyes. And then the third tier we have are the Commanders, we call them, which are basically the bosses of the demons. So if this was a video game, these are who you'd be seeing at the end of each level. They were really designed as you can see, completely uniquely. We went into them with this idea that we wanted them to be based on the 9 rings of hell from Dante's Inferno. That was an idea that my partner Oliver had, and we pitched that to Buck, and he just ran with it. And it was a long process figuring out what they would look like and how they would all look like they belong with each other, but have enough to stand out from each other from a silhouette point of view, as well as an emotional character point of view. So we really put a lot into that, and I am honored to have been able to translate them into the pixels, but I really feel like 90% of that the work with these designs was really all Buck, and it was really easy for me to kind of pick up the torch from what he was doing and be like, all right, this is perfect. This is exactly what we were looking for, and let's go. And then sorry, there's so much to this collection. There's just one other thing. The other tier, or the other part of the collection we have, that they're not demons. We call them the Dizzy Heroes, and they're basically our main cast right now of Dizzy Dragons. And they were actually designed by my partner and Dizzy Dragons co-founder Oliver. So these are the only ones that weren't designed by Buck Lewis, and they were character designed by him and developed with me, and we kind of put these characters together. So they're also included in the collection as one-of-ones. Yeah, sorry. There's a lot going on here. I'm trying to keep it brief.
No worries. I love it. I was going to ask, for those of you in the audience who aren't familiar with I'll just dive in. Yeah. Who aren't familiar with the backstory, could you unpack the lore of Dizzy Dragons for everybody watching?
Yeah, I'd love to, for sure. So basically the idea is the Dizzy Dragons are a group of dragons that there was a time when humans and dragons and all kinds of, folk all got along and all kind of partook in the same activities, and then something happened where that wasn't the case. Dragons are, were then feared. There's a lot to be unpacked story wise, but the short end of it is that there was a group of dragons that, when things kind of separated and people were not so friendly with each other, a group of dragons wanted to continue doing what they were doing with their kind of human ways, and playing sports and hanging out at a bar and playing music and that vibe. So they constructed the Dizzy Den, which is where all their happenings take place, and they do whatever they do in there. So that's kind of the backstory, and the world's really, it's like a mix of fantasy, steampunk, modern, like, technology. It's kind of this really fun mishmash of genres that I feel like probably on paper might not sound like it would work, but through this Dizzy lens, we're figuring out a way to really make it work, I think.
Yeah, you guys had the fusion earlier in the year, or I would say 2 or 3 months ago. I kind of want to touch on that, but I also want to touch on this roadmap that you guys have that I can get to right now. Obviously, Dizzy Demons being first up on this roadmap, you guys are executing on that now. We can get into these details, but just from kind of the Dizzy Demons point of view, let's touch on that, what the details are there, and then moving into a roadmap for what you got here in front of us.
Totally. So with the Dizzy Demons, as we've kind of got into all the details of what is in the collection, but we have specific plans of what we're going to be doing with the funds that we raised through that sale, and that's going to be geared towards lore development, or development generally with Dizzy Dragons. But we're going to look for ways, or we figured out ways to reward Dizzy Demon holders through that way we can provide a little extra utility with them. And one of the big things we did with that is we're going to be adding a section of our sandbox development that will be what we're calling the Demon's Cavern, and that's going to be a very, we're looking to have that be a community driven section where it's developed with our Discord and with our community, and as far as what's going to be going on there, and demon holders will have specific access to that where dragons won't be allowed. So there's a lot to be had there. Mm-hmm. And we, in addition to our metaverse plans, there's been nonstop buzz since we've come out about doing a more traditional 2D video game of some sort. And there's been a lot of chat again within our community of what that would look like, and it's really even been hard internally of kind of choosing a direction of this is the what we need to do first. So we thought this was another great opportunity to, sort of present a couple of the ideas that we've been hearing in the community and that we've workshopped behind the scenes, that we think would work. And again, leave it up to the community of Dizzy Demon holders, and that they'll have say in the development of this game, that we're going to be making. So that's the.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of tower defense, so I choose option A. So just like putting my hat in the ring there. I've got some Dizzy Dragons in my wallet. But I do want to touch on this token as well, like as we can see in the roadmap as well. Last but not least, of course, is possibly a fungible token. Obviously, that gets people excited. What's the deal potentially with a Dizzy token down the road?
Totally. Yeah. And I mean, as you said, it definitely gets people excited, which is something that usually gets me skeptical and is why it's been something we haven't dove into head first. And we've been doing a lot of research and been tapping into people that we know have gone down this road before and are going to be looking into, into all that. But we have extensive plans of kind of the dream and how we would like it to function and what we would offer through it. And that's all been stuff we've really been developing over the last couple of months internally. Again, it's kind of been something that we didn't have on the burner. So like we've been able to kind of play in this, like, what if we did this kind of world? And now it's really a matter of logistically figuring out what is possible, what's, what we can all do. But as I mentioned in the roadmap, we are going to definitely find fun ways to frame all of this and make it as interactive as possible. So the one thing we alluded to in the roadmap was the idea of quests, which are fun way of essentially saying staking and what would all be going on when your dragon or Dizzy Demon goes on a quest is to be determined, and kind of just a lot of fun ideas of what can be done with the token. Because I mean, my main concern was really just rushing to put a token out that we didn't know how to use it, or people didn't have something to do with. So it's a slow burn process, but again, it's nice to have the opportunity to go from that, like, we're not really like gun to the head thinking about it. We can float ideas around, have fun, and now figure out what's worthwhile and make it happen.
Well, right on. I was going to ask, what inspires you guys, like moving forward, or even what got you into this? What was the inspiration for you?
I mean, the inspiration, I feel like, to getting into it, and that always keeps me going, is just my passion personally. I'll speak for myself, aside from Dizzy Dragons, is just world building and storytelling. And I fell into this amazing opportunity with Dizzy Dragons. Like I say all the time, I've had hundreds of ideas throughout my creative life, and some have caught on more than others, and Dizzy Dragons was really the first time that it all seemed to click and resonate with people in a really special way. And it's kind of just been a different experience building in that world and with a community and all of that. So the inspiration is coming, I feel like, at the moment, mostly internally, and of everything we have going on with the community and our plans with our team. But it's always stemming from my, lifelong geek passion of Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and, and all of that. And I mean, Buck is definitely a big jump start in that inspiration, and having somebody of his caliber, somebody with his experience, coming onto the team and coming into this world with such a fresh take and such a hungry take. Also, like we kind of share that same energy where we're very passionate and like loving creatives, but at the same time we're super competitive. So like he's coming in like me months ago. We're like, dude, I'm seeing this collection, they're doing this, does that mean we could do this? Like, oh wait, we're building in the metaverse. Like, I need to get involved in this. Can we do this?
Yeah, it's electric. Yeah, I love it.
It's wild, man. And again, it like we've all been feeling it, and it's a whole different level, like working with somebody like him and getting that energy in. So
Yeah, he's almost fresh, right? He's green to all of what we've been in for like the last 2 years, where we're just like, oh, like I'm exhausted almost. It's like he's coming in with fresh new eyes. I love that, man. A lot of energy. A lot of energy.
Dude, that's
So I
exactly
have
it,
some
man.
questions. I have some questions really quick. I do have up on my screen a giveaway. You guys said we will be giving away a Dizzy Demon live today during the NFT live show featuring yourself, Rob. And unfortunately, again, can't not Buck. We wish you well. We wish you were here right now. What are the detailed giveaways for this little guy right here? Well, how do we want to run this? Do we want to do this post episode or right now? How do you want to run this?
Hey, I'm honestly that I'll put that in your hands.
Okay.
I think whatever you guys want to do with it is works for us. I'm just happy
Oh man.
to give this away to your crew or make it happen.
Dude, I appreciate that so much. So yeah, big shout out to the Dizzy Dragon crew with this Dizzy Demon, which we will be announcing in our Discord, most likely for, again, LADZ token holders. If you hold our token at a certain range, you become a noble in our server. So most likely this is going to one of those nobles. And he's purple too. He's purple, so it makes sense.
Synergy.
Makes
I
sense.
love
Okay.
it. Yeah.
All right. And the last question I had, Rob, as far as the actual minting process for the Dizzy Demons, are these like totally sold out? What is the date? I just need the details just from a casual observer perspective.
Yeah, no, we are not sold out. We're still very much on sale, and definitely would love any support. So yeah, and I'm not sure if I mentioned one other fun thing aside from the one of ones that are scattered within there. There are also special, I call them special. There's original pencil sketchings of the character designs for all the demons, for all the commanders, sorry, that Buck had done. And I'm still blown away that we had minted them and put them into this collection. So we are on sale. And if you mint a demon, you can either get a minion, a brawler, a commander, one of these amazing pencil versions of a commander, or a Dizzy hero. So there's a lot of fun to be had there.
So this sketch art here that we just showed you, so this is going to be like a random kind of RNG thing. What you're getting, you're basically going to potentially get a rare character like a commander, brawler, or like the more kind of, I guess, like more masses with the minions, or you can get these. Is this what you're saying? Like there's going to be 8 versions of these? Is that the total supply?
Yep, the numbers are on the website. I'd probably butcher them, but yeah, the supply of each of the tiers varies. So the minions are the most common, the brawlers are uncommon, and the commanders would be the rare or the rares. And then we can call the heroes like ultra rares or secret rares or something. I'm a big Pokemon geek, so that's where I'm going with.
Got
And yeah, so with the commanders, we have both the pixel art version and the pencil sketch versions in the collection. So there's a chance you can get either one of them. And again, all of those are one of ones. So the minions and brawlers are all generative, and they have a large array of traits that go with them that make them all unique. But the commanders and heroes are just one of ones, and that's it.
Okay. And last lightning question before I let Uncle finish us off. How does the reveal work? Has there, I'm guessing not until the sale is closed, you're going to do the reveal, but how does that reveal going to work itself out for holders?
Well, no, we're actually revealed already. This was initially a way that we were rewarding Fused Dragon holders. That was the inception of the Demons collection. So there was this was like weeks ago at this point, where everybody that had a Fused Dragon was able to, or is still able, if you haven't, able to claim a free demon. And then everything that's not claimed is on sale. So that if you buy a demon now, it would be an instant reveal, and you'll know instantly if you get a super rare one, if you get a dope minion or what have you.
Gotcha. Love it. All right, Unc, you finish this out, man. I think I'm good. I just posted to the chat there community questions. Obviously, that's the best thing about being live. we can get some questions from the community to the team. You seem to have a super active community. They're really happy that you're on the stream here, Rob, and they're giving you some support. But yeah, the last question, Unc, and then we'll roll out.
Well, I got to try to squeeze. Do you have any alpha, any unreleased information that has not made it to prime time yet that you're going to share for the first time here on the LADZ City network? Is there anything you can disclose to us here for our audience?
I can definitely do something a little fun.
Ooh.
And yeah, I'm just the first thing that hit me that I'm not going to definitely make anybody mad by saying it, I don't think. But we have announced a big partnership Metaverse party with Chibi Labs and Crypto Cannabis Club and Space Poggers and a bunch of awesome other collections. And that's going to be in Decentraland. So we really want to make sure that we get our Dizzies some dope gear to be rocking in the Metaverse. So I think I can leave it at that, but definitely look out for something.
Much appreciated.
Damn.
Thank you.
Uncle's
Yeah, no,
already
thank you
a
guys.
seasoned. Yeah, Uncle's already a seasoned questionnaire, I guess, how I would
Bless
call it.
your
I've got the
heart.
OpenSea list pulled up on my screen. You can see the unrevealed minions. There's some commanders, there's some brawlers in there. So it's good to see this is kind of working really well for you guys, man. Definitely loved when we had the Dizzy Dragons on the first time, and of course having you on again, dude. Appreciate it so much, and we'll be in contact, bro. I'm definitely getting myself a Dizzy Demon right after this. Maybe I'll do it on stream. We'll see.
Oh, dude, I appreciate that, and thank you guys always, man. Really appreciate you guys always having us on. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right. No good shit. Good shit, dude.
I
Good
know.
shit.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, only one per episode. I'm trying to keep it PG-13, but the Hawaiian shirts bring it out of me, you know? They bring it out of me.
Dude, you always look good in them too. They're always slimming. I'm gonna try to buy Dizzy Dragon here or Dizzy Demon on stream. Let's see what we can get. But I don't want to like obviously dox myself or anything like that. But yeah, big shout out to the Dizzy Demon crew who were in chat asking if we could open the giveaway to all. And listen, I get it. I love everybody. You know, I've got the fun uncle vibes going on. You are all my nieces and nephews kind of vibe. But listen, we're giving value to our holders. Like that's what we do here. You guys have your crew, we have our crew. We're coming together and having a big powwow. But the giveaway, I think, will be for LADZ holders, for Noble holders. Super stoked for that. Thank you again, Dizzy Dragons crew, man. I wish we could have got Buck though. I wish that in my soul.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to come up with a buck pun, but nothing's coming to me. There's one like, you missed the buck, or
Yeah,
God, I'm on the spot here. Dan, yeah.
You get yeah.
I'll
It's
work
all
on
right.
it.
It's all
I'll
right.
work on it.
Listen,
We
first time
passed the
NFT.
buck.
Well, it's
Yeah.
it's second or third. They're past the buck. Okay.
Yeah, pass the buck.
All right.
Okay. On to the next episode.
On to the next. Listen, I'm gonna like not have Fun Uncle be under stress here while I try to like mint something live here on stream. But I definitely will do it here after the episode. I want to see if I can get a rare Dizzy Dragon or one of those real cool
Is that what
sketch
you got
art
going on over
pieces.
here? Oh, okay.
I'm looking at it. I'm working my way through it. So again, don't want to dox myself, but we will get into the rest of the episode mainly around big brands, right? Like we're gonna stick. We had a bunch of guests on today. We're not going to be that much longer. We're almost at an hour now, but we did have big brands getting into the space first with Pepsi and Budweiser. Pepsi is dropping the mic drop here, and these are all free NFTs. The whitelist went 2 hours ago. So if you don't know about what's going on with Pepsi, basically they came out, they said, mic drop, we're working with Gary V. We are to release this series. It was essentially like a PFP project. Both Budweiser and Pepsi, who we're talking about now, dropped a supply based on the year they were founded. So Pepsi founded in 1893, 1,893 Genesis tokens. You can see those are kind of the PFPs there. The art, really, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, Unc. I'm not a big art fan here with what they've got going on. You can see the mics. Not the most favorite drop that I've ever seen, but they were free. So if you were able to get on the whitelist, which just dropped 2 hours ago, I wish we went live sooner, then you will get these for free plus of course gas prices being on the Ethereum network. What's your initial reaction here, Ankh, of mic drop with Pepsi?
Well, they're trying to go for the whole Super Bowl halftime show thing, right? You know, like that's their whole, they own the halftime show, microphone, audio, music. You know, I'm surprised they're not pairing music to it. Remember when you could open up a thing of Pepsi and on the cap it got you a free download of music back when we're really dating ourselves there with that promotion. Remember when soda came in bottles? I was like, sorry. But that's the general
now you're
vibe
dating
I'm
yourself.
getting from it. Yeah, right. But more of the same. When you're saying big brands are getting into the space, like that's my story too. I have pulled up here is, you know, The Simpsons, Disney, Viva's project, you know, they're getting into the NFT space. And what I smell, you know, is these big brands are just trying to claim the territory, you know, claim as much territory as they can because they see that, you know, this is an unstoppable force, a force to be reckoned with, that they're, you know, trying to get their own piece of the land. There was an article I was trying to find that I saw when this first came out that Disney made $1.5 million in the first second whenever they minted theirs. But that I had it saved, but every time I click on it, you know, they've deleted it. So I don't think they want people to know how successful their NFTs are going, which bullish news. At the end of the day, this is all just extremely bullish news in the space. Dive in while you can. What I really love about it, The Simpsons got it here, is I think the metaverse is just 3D. You know, we're all focused on the two-dimensional side of things because that's how Web 2 is a two-dimensional space. But for these NFTs to then, you know, not only mint themselves, but also in a three-dimensional augmented virtual reality kind of element, you know, that's going to shake hands nicely with this Web3 3D space that we're going to be entering here in the, I want to say 5 years, but maybe it's 10 years. And the flagship conversation is, you know, Viva. This is where, or Vivi. I think I'm saying that right. Yeah. This is where they're all being minted. The next one is Voltron, which, you know, got to collect all 5 to get your, you know, that's already built into the brand. Collect all 5, get your Voltron NFTs while supplies last. But this is it. Yeah. They're doing the whole shebang. Disney, Simpsons, Marvel, you know, trying to get their one-of-ones out there. And there are just nostalgic millennials who grew up on this content who are going to snag it up. So just, big industries in the space.
Huge, big industries. And it's funny to like compare the way that we view NFTs to the way that other people are going to view NFTs, even people within our own space. Because Vivi, for example, I know that it's working on a certain blockchain. I always get caught up in this discussion here, but there's a lot of centralization potentially, like within that platform. Like it's not available on OpenSea, for example. Like what you want is a completely decentralized marketplace that you can trade these assets on, because that's kind of how we see NFTs. But you know, the people that come in and are buying NFTs from Vivi, you're basically just trapped within that application, which is essentially what you're getting on any other platform, right? That was the idea of having NFTs be totally open and not just located on a centralized app like a Vivi. So it's come up multiple times because they're working with huge brands, but it strikes me as kind of the same, you know, song and dance that we've been doing since, you know, the Web 2, which is we have all of these really cool brands. Yeah, I can call them NFTs because they're on a specific blockchain, but they really only live within this app. And if this app went away, you have them, but it's not the same. So
I completely agree
been
with
always
you.
mine.
It all goes in that conversation of we don't know what the Web3 is going to be. We don't know who the winners and the losers are going to be. And so they're kind of reserving their right to, okay, so whenever the analogous Facebook or the analogous Instagram or Twitter comes out of the ashes as what we all dive into as the metaverse, what Gen Zs claim as the metaverse, then Vivi will, you know, do a little backdoor deal being like, hey, you can't pass up Disney and Marvel, can you? You know, they're trying to have themselves agnostic from the open seas, from the, you know, but again, that's my tinfoil hat conversation I'm having, you know, big money, bleeding mouth capitalist conversation.
One of the best things about these episodes, of course, like I said earlier, was that we can go to the community, and we have an awesome community of NFT enthusiasts that know their shit and DP definitely knows his shit. So he's saying Go Chain, which they, I guess, are on now. They're migrating to Immutable X as we speak. So that's a big thing for Vivi, is if you get to Immutable X, I believe that's a layer 2 of Ethereum. So you kind of have like one deviation away from just being on Ethereum at that point. That's a big thing for me. So I definitely appreciate them moving to Immutable X 100%. So the other thing about this big brand situation getting in, as I've got the other story, so Budweiser came out. We're going to touch on Pepsi and Budweiser back and forth here. We touched on Disney there. So Budweiser came out with their drop. Again, it was based on them being founded in 1936. So there were 1,900 core heritage NFTs, which we'll show off in just a second. Mint price was $499 cash. They didn't price it in ETH. They priced it in cash. And then there were 36 NFTs that were essentially gold heritage, not gold standard. All right, Stash, not gold standard. We had $999 each. So at the time of this article, it was up 75% from the actual mint price. We can go and see in here now under activity. This is on OpenSea. So again, this is what I love to see. You know, you're having NFTs that are available and open on OpenSea, and you can actually, you know, be able to show that off in the ways that we show it off now, which is your OpenSea wallet. Certainly we want more, like you're saying, 3D and stuff. But anyways, you can see here, standard heritage can, not gold or anything, is now going for, and that's not the right price, 64K. It was recently sold for about 0.85 ETH. Okay, so I don't know the actual price of ETH right now, but that is like so there you go, $3,500 off of a $500 price there. So about a 7x there for whoever was able to buy this. The gold cans, $1,000, they're going for like almost 3 to 4 ETH. So, you know, we talk about big brands entering the space and what that means and whether it's a cash grab, but short-term flippers are seeing a good flip here, essentially, is what we're seeing. So gonna continue and hopefully not have a closed C situation here. But yeah, man, short-term flipping happening with this Budweiser NFT drop. They talked about the Budverse, but there wasn't really any more details. I know me and you were both looking at that prior, but as you see a gold can here, last sale was 5 ETH. But any thoughts on the Budweiser drop here, man?
Well, it was specifically about the Budverse and how in my mind, I'm just envisioning just an MTV spring break kind of, tropical paradise. You know, you win exclusive tickets to this. You know, why does Katy Perry pop in my mind? I'm improvising here.
She doesn't.
Yeah, and so that's just the envision I have. You know, again, take me back to my millennial roots of MTV spring break. I just see that kind of experience with the Budverse is what I keep seeing, and my mind grapes.
Yeah, we're gonna open this up to the community a little bit as I go into the Budverse website. But yeah, you have the overview here. You can kind of see gold NFTs, standard NFTs here, and they mention Budverse a bunch of times. There's no here's an example. This is your VIP ticket to the best experience in Budverse and beyond. There's no mention of what Budverse is. There's no inherent details where you're knowing the utility of what's going on. I'm sure they'll build something out. They just don't have it there and available now. So really, I want to open this up to the community here. What do you make of these big brands, right? We had Pepsi come out with free NFTs. That's another specific piece here. The Pepsi ones were free if you got on the whitelist. These ones were $500 to about $1,000. You got anywhere from like a 7x flip to, way higher if you got one of these gold ones. I want to open that up to the community. What are your thoughts here? And then I'm going to pull up one tweet here that has been making its rounds, which is basically all of these larger brands getting in and capitalizing on the NFT space, right? Via, NFT sales, but now almost taking the culture. And that is one where I think there was a lot of blowback. There were so many different tweets about this thread that I'm showing you right here that shows Meta, Pepsi, and Budweiser saying, "Wag me, good morning." All these different tropes that we say within our culture, our NFT culture, where we're trying to build something different. now companies are coming in and trying to steal this. There was a huge blowback
Yeah.
about this shit.
That's stolen valor, all right? They didn't have to go through what we went through to earn that right to say that. They're stealing our
True.
culture. I love this dialogue that's taking place on social media, you know. That's our word. You can't say that. But hey,
that's a great point, dude. Because like, is it our word? Is it like everything's open? Anybody can do it. But it is crazy to see Meta and Pepsi and all these people just saying good morning. It's like, well, don't ruin this. Please let us have this.
The reason we loved it was because it wasn't commercialized. It wasn't marketed. You know, those phrases were something we came up grassroots with no money behind it. We just did it as for a love of the game. We came up with these phrases and mass produced them and spread them around. And now for them to jump on and like try to make some money off the back of it, like, you know, they're stealing our intellectual property, our hive mind intellectual property, and they're profiting from it. So, boo! Shame on you, capitalism! Boo! Get out of there.
It looks like Don R's has a great like encapsulation of what we're talking about too, saying big brands will figure it out, but it doesn't taste right. Right? That's in a way that's especially when you're talking about some beverage companies, they'll figure it out, but it doesn't taste right. So
that's a Budweiser and a
big time.
Pepsi that's been left out in the sun. No one wants to sip on that. It's not refreshing anymore.
There you go. All right, I'm gonna recap with the Pepsi stuff one last time. You can see the waitlist date was today. The mint date is going to be on the 14th. We'll see what the secondary sales do. There was 1,893 of them. 50 were left for like giveaways, marketing, what have you. So we'll see what the secondary sales are like on the 14th when people who made it on the whitelist get to mint that. I'm sure it's going to do super well. Obviously, if you're paying nothing for something, you're going to do extremely well. Obviously, the gas fees are involved there. Next piece here that we've got, we touched on this project. Again, we love Play To Earn NFT games. Absolutely fantastic when a AAA studio can get in. So Ubisoft launched Ubisoft Quartz. We're not going to go into a full breakdown of what this is, but essentially these are the 3 digits, which is what they're calling their NFT assets. So time remaining here. So we actually have a sale going on here for 92 hours. So, you know, sometime in the next 3 to 4 days. And then we see this on December 12th and 15th. These are going to have like in-game cosmetic value to Ghost Recon Breakpoint. So this is really like if you had shown me this and said this was part of Ghost Recon, and you had shown me this at the start of the year, I would have been flabbergasted that would have happened, because where we've come in the span of 365 days is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the bigger, you got anything there?
No, you're right. Like, this has only been 1 year, and look at the progress we've made. This is incredible.
It is incredible. And one of the discussion points I want to have, though, as we bring up the NFT Plazas piece on this as well, you can see, again, the assets there in front of you. One of the biggest pieces. Oh, did they give a shout out to Kagi on there? Oh, there you go.
Word.
What do we got here?
Yeah,
just okay. All right. Well, standard. Okay. So one of the biggest pieces I want to touch on with this story, though, and I love to get your guys' comments here in the comment section. There's a lot of backlash from the gaming community. So we have Maddie, DCL Blogger here. We're so early that AAA game publishers integrate NFTs, and 90% of their players who win big time here hate it. Look at all the dislikes on this video. And then you go in here and you see 9,300 people dislike this video, 570 liked the video.
Ooh.
And we posted a Ubisoft video, and there were multiple comments on that video about how Ubisoft is like, this is really bad. And that's the craziest convo I think that I was having, you know, in the last couple of days, is how much gamers don't get it, and how much against this push into Play To Earn, into NFT drops, how much they're against this push. It's crazy, actually, to me. So I want to get your guys' take. I want to get your take too, Uncle. Like, what makes this happen? 10,000 people disliking the fact that they're adding Play To Earn mechanics to a game.
I go right back to the capitalism vein again, you know. It does smell like there's some missing piece of information, like, you know, the Ubisoft staff has done something nefarious in the past, And maybe we're not fully connecting the dots on, oh, but they did this back in 2005 with blah blah blah, you know, or for example, this happened with Blizzard a couple years back, where they wanted to make profits one year, and they were like really really close to making profits, so they just fired 3,000 people off their staff so that they could make profits that quarter. And ever since then, I think they've walked away from it. But back when it happened, it was like people were up in arms on social media just trying to crush them out. So it smells like something else is going on, you know, like they're anti-union or something. I don't know, but that's the flavor I'm getting out of it.
I completely agree with you, and the reason I say that is because when these comments are happening in the YouTube section of this video that I'm showing right here, but also our videos and things like this, it's all about, hey, Ubisoft is, I think the exact words are like a piece of trash. Ubisoft is a smelly fish tank. Ooh. And Blizzard isn't any better. Like that's where you see like the gaming studio to gamer relationship is at, in my opinion, all-time lows, right? Like people do not trust these gaming studios, and that's really where it comes from. So when they release this thing, it almost seems like a loot box. Like, because, you know, again, there was a lot of pushback to loot boxes within games and things like this. So that's really, I think, what it comes down to is you hit it. Like, there is some way of feeling about somebody, no matter what they do. If they were like, "Here, have $100," you'd be like, "What the fuck's going on here? Are you gonna trap me into something here?"
Am I now associated with something illegal? Right. Mm-hmm.
So some comments coming through, and I'd love to get more, guys. DP is saying, I kind of get it. I think people want mainstream to stay mainstream and play to earn to stay play to earn. Get scammed is saying, imagine being able to sell something you got in a game and being mad about it. Exactly. There needs to be NFT education here. That's the other point. Like, if you're just going to completely shut it off, there, you can lead a horse to water and all that stuff. You need to be open a little bit. It's going to be hard to teach those people, but I think the education will come. And then DP is also saying, you have to look at the way they're entering the space completely inorganic. Corporations haven't learned that there has to be a humble approach when entering the space. So a lot of great comments coming through on this one. And then Don R saying, if you've been top dog and it's your home and change is threatening, it's just an early phase of the learning curve, just initial reaction. So great fucking comments coming through there.
Love it.
Any last thoughts here, Unc?
No, I just want to know more. You know, I want this drama unpacked fully for me on late night TV. Grabbing popcorn,
or like midday NFT live YouTubes like that. There's a little bit of info being dropped there.
Oh, look at that! Look at that.
All right, you got the next piece, and then we'll continue.
Yes, indeedy, I do. It's all about the social media predictions, you know, how TikTok is NFTing itself. Instagram, Facebook are going to NFT themselves. And this opened up a really awesome conversation with some of my friends who are novice or don't really understand the space that well. I have a lot of friends that say, well, I can just right-click, save the image. And I have to remind them that, yeah, we're still in Web 2. The Web 2.0 space is the Wild West, where people are robbing trains. Your cold wallets are robbable. You know, there's no regulation or sheriffs in town to take care of business, and you can right-click, save JPEGs. Whereas once we are fully in the Web 3 space, there will need to be verification. So if you're posting a new profile picture of yourself, there will be no other way to do it but an NFT. And to that same note, if someone wanted to right-click save your profile picture, a picture of you that you have taken and posted into Web3, they can't. It's unverifiable. They don't own the blockchain rights to it. Only you do. And that gets us into fake profiles. You know, people are using fake accounts because they can right-click save your JPEGs that you've posted on Instagram, make a whole new page and website pretending to be you, and they can do all kinds of horrible, nefarious things, from romance scams, stealing your wallets, fraudulent voting, QAnon, just QAnon in general. Like that's why this Web3 space will be a blessing and a curse, depends on how thick of a tinfoil hat you wear. I think personally it will be a blessing because we will have verification on the things that you have posted. Those were truly your original thoughts. That truly is an image of you and not stolen valor as a phrase. I keep going back to, I can't get that phrase out of my mind. But that's just literally, you know, the articles that I were able to, whenever I see, oh, you know, TikTok and Instagram and Facebook are getting into the NFT space, that's where my mind goes is, okay, because that's our stepping stone into Web3, and Web3 is a necessary evil because it's verified across the board. So yeah, right now you can right-click save as many images as you want, but that's all going to be useless garbage once Web3 fully takes on, and once you're fully interacting with Web3. It doesn't matter how many things you right-click saved. It only matters if you are verifiable on some kind of blockchain. And so that's just the long and the short of what I'm unpacking out of these images. Like, man pleads guilty to $1 million in online dating scam. Yeah, because he stolen valor. That's where my mind's going. He's pretending to be U.S. soldiers to dupe women out of cash to buy property in Guana, luxury cars, jewelry. If we were in Web3, he would not have been able to pull this off. But because we're still in the Wild West, you can right-click save a JPEG. And, you know, that's what I'm just getting at all these you know, conversations here is okay, this is the glass half full of Web3, you know, how it will be a beneficial step for everybody, you know, moving forward.
It's an interesting discussion. It almost needs the app to kind of come along board, right? Like TikTok needs to, or Twitter needs to enact that verification model for the assets that we're trading now, right? Whether they be a PFP or whatnot. So yeah, it'll take like TikTok, head of TikTok or Jack Dorsey was doing some things for like Twitter verifications for these PFPs. I think that'll be the first one, most likely. Twitter verification for PFPs, probably the first one that you see in what you're talking about here.
Don R in the chat is saying right clickers will pay more later for NFTs when they understand for what we know now. You know, he's right. Like, we've got it figured out. We can see this 5-year, 10-year vision of what will be ahead. And right now, everyone's kind of like horse blinders. It'll always be this way. Why are people spending so much money on something I could just right-click save when they don't see it? They lack the vision. Yeah.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here, Uncle. I'm gonna be a person that says to you right now, I can just right-click save your NFT.
Yeah.
I don't need to buy it here. I already took your NFT. What's going on? How do you respond to that person?
Have you ever heard of a blue check mark on Instagram? You know, how that is a verifiable thing, that is you, you know? Yeah, you are really putting me on the spot here. But that is what the blockchain is, essentially, is the blue check mark. And so as much as you want to, you know, right click save and say you have this whole portfolio of NFTs, like, you can't pull out a loan on that NFT like a lot of these spaces are allowing now. You can pull out, I just saw, it was a $1.4 million loan someone pulled, and they had just used just one NFT to back that loan with as collateral. And so I'm just like, can you get a loan with any of those right click save JPEGs? Absolutely not. You know, will you be able to resell that on OpenSea? Not a chance. And I think that's just, they really are missing just a small piece of information, but are so stuck on, you know, I had a friend just the other day say, these are copyright lawsuits that are coming down the pipe, so the whole space is screwed. And I said, no, just those individual projects that have, you know, are violating copyright law. Only those are in trouble. I'm not going to OpenSea. I'm bullish on OpenSea. Like, that's still going to be there stronger than ever. They'll just ban all the copyright infringements and continue doing what they're doing. And I think that's what a lot of those boomer right-click savers think is, oh, well, there's this one problem. There's this one chink in the armor, so the whole thing's a house of cards. But nah, man. Nah.
It's amazing that people can be like, there's so much happening behind the veil, that all this whole thing that we think is going to absolutely change the world, and someone's just sitting on the other side of it being like, seeing none of it, you know, seeing one aspect of it and being like, nothing's happening there. Nothing. No, it's all a house of cards. Like, no, look at this whole universe, like literally metaverse that you're going to be living in 10 years. But you just can't pull people in, man. I love that saying.
And they've seen Ready Player One. How they've seen Ready Player One. How can they not see it? It's right there in front of you.
Yeah.
Spielberg gets it.
Yeah, it's true. Yep. I'm going to get to the next story here. I got 2 more stories that we will get into, but great comments there as well. As Xpaw says, just like Nifty Q steals my memes on Twitter. Listen, Xpaw, if you drop good memes, you got to expect I'm going to right click save as and add it to my twits or my Twitter profile. Choin is saying sell it, which I think you touched on there. I saw Ronan got hit up by some dude who stole his avatar or his PFP. And said, hey, now I have it. And then Ronan's comment was, okay, go ahead and sell it then. And obviously that was a great response, of course, because the guy wouldn't have been able to. So Marty McFly says, VVAP sucks balls. And Marty McFly also says, I hope you get over your cold soon. Listen, I barely made it. Like, Kieran must have transferred it to me via that Alluvium episode. He wasn't feeling too good. But I'm going to touch on one thing you talked about there, which is lending. Uncle, like I just found out about this app through contacting Steven. So if you guys don't know who's Steven, I want to get his last name, but he works for NFT Plazas. He's a writer for them. If you've seen NFT Lives, we break down like a 7-day period for data. He does some good analysis where he kind of like sees top collectibles, top art, biggest sales, all this different stuff. So hopefully we can get Steven on and actually like break down his data here on NFT Live. We'll have like a 5-minute segment. He can come in, but he also is the developer for Neftify. So I wanted to give them a quick shout out. This is a cool app, and I was kind of blowing your mind a little bit, maybe Unc, at the beginning of the show or right before the show. Whoa, all right.
Man, you got Uncle again. Two uncles, one show. Let's go.
We have officially entered the mature part of the show. That's what you get. You get the late night show here at the end
for the people who stayed. Yeah, late.
This is dope because we do have a play to earn mechanic here, but so here's the deal. In the future, what's going to happen is people want to be able to play games. For example, like a Thetan Arena, which we streamed last night. If you have certain NFTs, you can earn more real cash or real crypto or what have you, but you need that asset. And not a lot of people are going to be able to come in and have that NFT right away, but they can borrow it. That's what you've seen in Axie Infinity, where you have the Scholar program, of course. So you have someone who owns the NFT asset, and then you have a player who can't either afford or doesn't want to or what have you. But that process right now is manual. So you see a lot of people get taken advantage of. So, for example, that process would be a Scholar would have to beat out a whole bunch of other people to try to get on this Scholar program where they can then get the asset, earn some money, and then kick back some to the person that owns the NFT. You've heard horror stories of like scholars not paying out to their actual scholarship programs, vice versa, where the person that owns the NFT doesn't, give the assets back. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So what you will see, and Avagachi has done a good job of this. Kieran was talking about this on the Alluvium episode, and then other third-party protocols like Neftify will automate this. So what you see, and it's already a live app, they're doing this within Axie Infinity, you can automatically and programmatically get lending. So I can put my Axie assets here. I can put an Axie into this protocol. They'll lend it out for you automatically, right? They'll get into the details. I'm sure we can jump down a big ass rabbit hole with this, but basically you're just getting an automated return. You're just automating this process that's really, really, not efficient, sometimes nefarious, and just is overall bad to a more automated process. So I'm super bullish on this. Choin is in the house saying Gotchi lending will be 100% trustless on chain. Exactly. You just automate the process. Don't have to worry about the other bullshit, and you are good to go. So shout out to Neftify. What do you think, Uncle?
No, it's brilliant, actually. I just keep thinking about just the use cases for this. I keep going back to World of Warcraft when I think about it. Like, some guy's just grinding, and he's earning all of these weapons for a character that, he's like, I can't use all these weapons or shields or you name it on this one character I'm currently playing with. Why can't I be making some passive income on last year's shield and last year's sword that are on a character I don't even use anymore? Like, pay back, people who put in the time and simultaneously allow other players to, experience something that would take them an undreamable amount of time. I remember when I first got into video games, and I would watch my older brother, he's 10 years older than me, play a video game. I'm like, how did you do that? You know, like he would just win the level. And I would sit there, you know, with my, 10-year-old fingers trying to figure it out. And so just this idea of like, hey, no, you can actually, you know, experience what it's like to have one of these pieces in your collection. I love it.
The provenance you talked about of ownership as well, that'll be really cool, because you'll be able to maybe, you know, a big time gamer can lend out their assets for a little bit more money. You know, maybe maybe Tony Hawk can lend you his skateboard, right? Like that will be a really cool aspect, is the ownership. It's like, oh, Vitalik this is Vitalik's CryptoVoxels estate. He's just lending it out. It's like an Airbnb. I'm sure there's an Airbnb out there for CryptoVoxels. We should start that business. Let's shut down NFT Live right now. Let's get into Metaverse BNB, and let's just do it. You down? No, maybe not. I didn't. Well, I'll pitch you after.
No, what you're on right now is like interior designing for people's houses. Like they have Metaverse boats, Metaverse condos, Metaverse apartments and houses. Like what you're touching on is like, hey, we'll fit this out to be, you know, a bed and breakfast, or, you know, a nice little house, or, you know, because I think there's a whole line of furniture that we're missing out on in the NFT space. You know, whenever you get a Sims character in the metaverse, you want to then fill that house.
Is this like an
with
IKEA?
items. Yeah.
Are we doing an IKEA business now?
Let's get IKEA on the phone, okay? Do you speak Swedish?
Okay. No, unfortunately not. I wish I could. Really well, it is one of the most spoken languages in the world, of course, Swedish. I'm totally
I've got
joking.
nothing.
That joke really fell flat, but the business won't fall flat. I like the idea. IKEA in the metaverse, like fully curated event spaces. Bam. Token Lounge. All right. Well, we're getting some comments here. CryptoSuki is saying, "Oh snap! I was looking for something that was automated." Talking about that Neftify there. Don R saying, "Borrow a powerful weapon NFT and go on a campaign to earn your own NFTs." Very cool. And Don R saying, "Airbnb NFTs. I'm in queue." So listen, Uncle, if you don't get on this, I've already got potential suitors here.
I see. I see it now. You can't afford a plot in the sandbox, but you want to play in there, so you only can pay a daily fee to just use my lot of land for the day or the week. I get it, yeah, because those are going for a lot. A single like plot of land is like $12,000-$15,000 in the metaverse. So, okay, I'm my mind's unpacking as we speak.
Man, there's this whole opportunity that's going to exist, right? Like Web 2. And then Web 3, and then you almost have like I'm jumping the gun here, but like a Web 4, where it's like you have human experience in the metaverse. We are down a rabbit hole right now, but there's all these opportunities like we're talking about.
Wow. Okay. Artificial intelligence is for. Yeah. Have you seen the movie Her?
Singularity?
Yeah. Okay.
I've seen bits and pieces. I
won't get into it, but no, I like what you there. Okay. Singularity, where we will become symbionic, you know, we are connected with the metaverse and it's connected with us, the Matrix.
The late night hour of NFT Live. Tune in. Talking singularity.
Call it the DMT drop.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
All of the ideas are flowing right now. All right. Guys, I want to give a big shout out to our sponsors on today's episode. This is the Society of the Hourglass. They have an upcoming mint on January 4th. They have 8,888 NFT characters that will be ready and available to mint. There's so many different cool things about this upcoming drop, mainly, and I want to get to two here. Each Society token holder receive pre-sale whitelist access to future collections that mint through Hashku, which is kind of the overall umbrella company that puts out Society of the Hourglass here. They're going to have multiple different brands under Hashku, including obviously Society of the Hourglass. You will also be entered into drawings for free tokens for those collections when they are made available. Society token holders will receive airdrops, exclusive access to secondary collections, and will receive additional Hashku benefits. Again, if you can't tell, I'm super bullish on studio productions getting into the NFT game, because they have all of these different brands that they can build out that work together. So there's other brands besides Society of the Hourglass that are going to be underneath Hashku that can interact together. The actual Society of the Hourglass drop includes a lot of these NFT characters that you see here, some of which are going to be rare, some of which are going to be more common. Really like the art that's being dropped here as well. The team has a traditional background in producing different media pieces. They just partnered with Jump Cut Media as well, which will release like different books, for example. So I'll give you an example here, publishing a narrative-based seek and find book and working with Jump Cut Media on an animated series film featuring characters from this NFT collectible. So you're essentially going to get this one-of-one here book in physical as well, Buffalo. So, Fun Uncle.
I take it as a compliment.
That was on me.
I take it as a compliment. That was on me. It's all good, yeah.
So we have more here that we can get into. So they have, again, there's the details for the drop, 8,500 citizens, 100 competitors, which look rare, 10 Nigels, and a handful of one-of-ones. I mentioned the physical book that you'll be able to receive as well, and the upcoming airdrops as well. So they've got a lot of things coming. Again, Hashku is going to be the overarching brand here. So we're just going to be working closely with their team. You can see a lot of the different pieces here that will be available for mint, and we'll be following Side of the Hourglass here for a while. There's a little bit more information here. So physical meets digital. NFT holders will receive a first edition Society of the Hourglass picture discovery book. There'll be access to pre-sales. There will be NFT characters generated from obviously the generative art and community-driven films. They'll work with Jump Cut Media to do animated series. So wanted to give a huge shout out. That is going to be on January 4th for that mint date, Society of the Hourglass. Shout out to you guys.
Right on. Right on.
All right, guys. So we made it through the entire episode. Uncle, you passed with flying colors, man, in my opinion. So you're just getting better each week. Adding value to the lads community, LADZ City. Can't wait to buy some of your NFTs, sir.
Ooh, you're planting a seed. I love it. Yeah, no, I'm in the process of releasing my own NFTs, and they're going to be called Fun Uncle League Loungers. Just competitive ready lounge enthusiasts like myself who are fully retired, sitting down by the local watering hole. The real key to these NFTs that I'm releasing is they're going to have unlockable content within them where you can view unlisted YouTube videos where I've laid out a bunch of uncle-inspired riddles maybe that if you solve those riddles and hit me back in my email, you'll win some rewards. But again, this is stuff I'm still in development of right now. And thanks for letting me do a little shout out there on my Fun Uncle League Loungers. Thank you for that.
Is that like a Fun Uncle? Is that like a Fun Uncle like OnlyFans situation?
I'm not closing
you're
the
saying
door.
private exclusive access?
I'm not saying no, and I'm not saying yes. Hey,
yeah,
$20 is $20,
cover-
you know.
At the end of the day, yes, of course. Monthly, by the way. Make sure to charge that monthly. Okay, guys. Again, stay tuned for the Fun Uncle OnlyFans, Fun Uncle NFTs. It might be a mixture, but yeah, we'll be covering that on NFT Live whenever we start to you start to formalize the actual sale and everything like that. Can't wait to have you on, man.
Thank you.
All right, so that was NFT Live for today. We had CryptoStache, we had Dizzy Dragons, we had Dizzy Demons, we have giveaways to get to. We have DJ Savage in LADZ City right after this. He's going to play some tunes. So we have a lot of things going on, man. Thank you so much for tuning in today and sticking with us through the entire episode. Leave a like, leave a comment. You guys are awesome. Our vibe, our tribe. Unc, you got anything before we head out?
Make sure to check out Fun Uncle 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time here on a LADZ City network. That's Sundays. There's my ad popping up right down there. Check me out Sundays, 1 p.m. Fun Uncle is the name. I'll see y'all there. Later, guys. Rock and roll.
Later. Our vibe, our tribe.